Taren S, and welcome to the House of Witchcraft. I've been doing magic for a very long time now, and I'm so happy to open up my cottage to you. Come on in. Hello, hello, witches. Welcome back to another Burn It series. In this series, every Wednesday, I upload a mystical, magical, herbal incense. And there seems to be some folks in which are like, you think that it should always smell good. When we're doing herbal burn-ins, herbal incenses, herbal magic, some of the recipes are offerings. And so it's not so much that it's designed to entice your Western 21st century senses as much as it's meant to entice the senses of spirit realm or to entice the senses of different entities or different deities and which are associated with that. All right. So if you mix something up and you're like, that doesn't really smell so good, it's not really meant to smell good to you. It's meant to smell good to all this. And what we're also doing is burning on them vibrations. When we are using herbs for this purpose, you'll hear me, I talk this, I'm going to keep saying it every video. We got to awaken the herb. All right? We got to awaken that spirit. We got to connect to that spirit. We don't just pick it up and plop it in places. All right? So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure my work area is set up in a way that feels good to me. I got all my ingredients, and of course I got my little spirit candle here. I keep reusing this one. All right? And I light a candle to spirit realms. You may want to light a candle to divinity. You can light a candle to yourself. You can light a candle to your dog. All right? What it is about when you light that candle, the psychological effect of shifting you into a state of gratitude, shifting you into the moment. All right? This is the time you don't think about nothing else. This is all you're thinking about. Now, this recipe is an altar recipe, all right? This is an altar incense. I burn this for offerings on Thursday, for those of you that follow me, you know Thursday Spirit Day for me. That's when I straighten all my altars up. That's when I put fresh candles, fresh flowers, and I also burn a special incense. That would be this incense. This is my offering to divinity. This is my offering to spirit realm. This is what I put on my altar, and I burn it to connect. All right? And I use a little abalone shell. For those of which haven't seen my little setup, I got a little piece of tin foil. You want your piece of tin foil. It's folded up probably 5-6 times, so it's got a good thick to it. And I set my charcoal. I use little self-light charcoal. There's the little sit-up. You can have all sorts, whatever your burn situation is. I've just learned this is how I personally do it over the years, witches. Now this recipe, I think is sort of going to surprise you on its simplicity, but I also want you to really understand the history of each of these ingredients is. I'm going to use frankincense, myrrh, and cinnamon. That's it. And the reason I'm using these is because these are all old world, higher realm herbs. Well, actually it's a resin and a bark, because cinnamon is actually the bark of the tree that's used. All right, but these have all been associated as temple offerings. And at one point, cinnamon was very scarce. It was like gold, okay? And so to even have a little cinnamon would have been, a complete luxury. And then to take part of that expensive cinnamon and to give it to the gods, to give it to divinity, it was almost a sacrifice, all right? I mean, we don't think about it because we can go to the dollar store and get cinnamon. But I want you to stop and think about the history of cinnamon. This is part of that connecting to the root, connecting to the herb. All right, take the time to go look up cinnamon. learn some of its folklore. Y'all know I never turn my phone off. I'm sorry. But look up its history, its story. When I pick this up, I pick up the story of the gods. I know that this was sprinkled in the temples of Inanna and Ishtar. Okay? So there's connection. That's where do I get the spirit of the root from? I get it through my knowledge. I take the time to learn about it. And when you want to learn about the different herbs, what you want to look is folklore cinnamon, folk magic cinnamon. And that is going to put you on the right search path and get you out of some of those stupid search paths. All right. Remember I was talking about my other simple myrrh. I kept it in my little bag. I have mine here in this little lid. All right. And I mean, we all know the biblical story of myrrh and the three kings, blah, blah, blah. All right. But you know King David's star? He's actually King Solomon's dad, the guy that wrote the Lesser Keys of Solomon, all those magical seals that we like to use. You want to know what they like to burn in their temples? Myrrh. So I know that story. So when I pick my myrrh up, I know I'm picking up a resin that has been burned in the temples of David. Pretty heavy. Think about that. Now I'm on to frankincense. And this is another one of those herbs, or I say herb, it's a resin, that has traveled the world, has been burned in temples. They have also frankincense and myrrh in cathedrals. Think about all of the different places. And before I dumped it in there, I should have showed it. I'm going to tell y'all, and for those of you new, this is little amounts. We are not trying to make cups and cups of things. All right? This is about in the moment. Y'all saw the little bit. I used probably like maybe not even a half a teaspoon of my myrrh and of my frankincense. All right? And because I'm using a resin, I have to put mine in the mortar and pestle here, do a little grinding. And again, I'm working for my altar. This is altar blessings. Oopsie daisy. 1 second. I just lost some of my myrrh. Where'd it go? Right there it is. Ha! Tried to get away from me. So I want to be saying that. This is for my altar. This is the blessings that I give up. There it goes. I got it. And this is what I feed my altar with. This is my gratitude. This is my love of divinity. This is my love of the spirit realm. And when I burn this, I want divinity to know my love. I want spirit realm to know my love. When we have an altar incense, we're giving up ourselves to higher realms. So when you're creating it, tell it how much you love it. Tell it whatever words you feel you need to speak to it. All right? You can also get this in powder form so you don't have to go through that step. I'm using just good old from the kitchen cinnamon, because you know you already have an apothecary, an herbal cabinet. It's in your kitchen. Open it up. Start using those herbs. I want to put about a half a teaspoon. This is all done in equal amounts, so you want to do equal myrrh, equal frankincense, equal cinnamon. And what I like to do is I have what I call my blending bowl right here, and I dump all my stuff into my blending bowl. It's a nice brass bowl that I got at a flea market, and if I got any chunkies, I can get in there and get the last bit of my chunkies out. I like to swirl my herbs. I typically like a 9-time swirl. And what that means is I will sit here and it's like, and then I go. And I want to swirl them together. This is the time to use that magical breath. Inhale 3, Exhale 3. Hold that little bit back. The 4th breath, that deepest that's what you want to put in here. I want to put in my love of divinity. I want to put my love of my altar. All right? I want to show my appreciation that every time I feed a little bit to the altar after straightening up the statues, and I want to give them a little extra something special. And I got my little goddess statue up there. Even if you don't have a statue, you just have an altar with a rock on it. And you want to do that little special incense. This is the incense we do. Now, after I've blended it up, I have my cute little pretty bowl here. Actually, somebody told me this is a fancy salt bowl and spoon. I got it at a gift shop. I don't know what you actually use it for, but I think that using it for altar incense is the best thing possible, because what I'll do now is I will sit this on my altar. Y'all done got cinnamon everywhere. And then I'll light my charcoal up. Ooh, you know it's lit when it's making sparklies. It may take it a minute to do it, and you'll see it start making them sparklies good. Here, let's get it going. Let's see if we can get it to give us a good sparkly. And there we go. We got some good sparklies. And this will sit at my altar. And on Thursdays, for me, I'm just talking my personal. You got to do you, boo, because you know that's the right way. All right? Is on Thursday, I light it. I get myself together. I take a little bit, which is, all right, and I sprinkle it there. I give it up. I say my prayers to the goddess, because for me it's the goddess. I say my prayers to the goddess, my thank yous. I ask for her wisdom and protection. And I burn my little incense. And that is a good altar incense, which is, and you better make sure you have good ventilation. All right? The one thing when we're doing these incense is good ventilation. Do be careful. Some of these different magical herbal blends, you'll take a trip and not leave the farm, if you know what I'm saying. You want to talk about flying ointment? Yeah, some of this will make you think you're flying. All right, this particular blend can give you a little bit of a headache if you're not in a well-ventilated area. You know, more like when you overclean the bathroom with the door shut. It's not going to be a good feeling. All right, witches, I do have to give a quick shout out real quick. If you like the herbs, you like the spirit, I also have a book about the Bag Your Mojo, which is about using the spirit of the herbs, mojo bags, gree bags, all right? And so you'll find that in the link below, along with the other books that I've written. And of course, you know I'm going to tell you to press that subscribe button and hit the join button and support the House of Witchcraft. And if you really love what we're doing and you want to get all up into our space, we have a virtual world that you can join, where we do weekly Zoom chats and virtual full moons on Patreon. So check that out. Thank you so much for watching the videos. I hope you have as bright of a blessed day as I'm having. And as always, amen, blessed be, ashe, and a-bo-bo.